in the States on Starlink.
The United Kingdom will ensure a continuation in its foreign policy when a new Labour leader and Prime Minister is nominated, Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy has told Europe Today. His comments came after outgoing Prime Minister Keir Starmer assured an orderly transition to a new Labour government.
There's absolutely no question of a change in foreign policy. We have remained committed to Ukraine through successive governments, and that will continue. And we have been absolutely clear, reconnected with the global community, a European reset, all of that continues.
Keir Starmer set out a timetable for his resignation on Monday, amid mounting calls for a change in leadership from within the Labour Party as it loses support. Former Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is currently tipped to run uncontested for the role and could be at the helm as early as July the 17th. A Burnham government is widely expected to maintain Starmer's key foreign policy principles, including on deepening trading and economic ties with the European Union, in a bid to tear down the barriers to cooperation created by Brexit. The EU-UK summit, due to take place on July the 22nd, has now been postponed in response to the political transition in London. The two sides were expected to seal deals on agri-food imports, emissions trading and youth mobility.
The European Commission proposed on Friday to extend its temporary protection scheme for Ukrainian refugees until March 2028, while explicitly blocking newly arriving military-age men from obtaining the status. The policy shift announced by EU Home Affairs Commissioner Magnus Brunner aims to support Kiev's mobilization needs by excluding individuals aged 23 to 60 who leave Ukraine without legal military authorization.
Our proposal provides that temporary protection should not be granted to newly arriving persons who are not allowed to leave Ukraine because of their military obligations under Ukrainian law. And this is what Ukraine has asked us to do, and this is what we are doing.
Commissioner, thanks. Exemptions will remain intact for individuals with severe disabilities, fathers caring for 3 or more children, and those deemed entirely unfit for combat duties. Adult men currently make up 26.6% of Ukrainian refugees living across Europe. But EU officials confirmed that anyone who has already been granted status will not be stripped of their legal protections. The proposal must now be approved by a qualified majority, requiring at least 15 member states, representing 65% of the total European population, to vote in favor. Meanwhile, Denmark has bypassed the wider EU migration framework to already deploy a similar system, decreeing that incoming Ukrainian men will receive residence permits only if they can prove a formal military exemption.
One of the guests at the Ukraine Recovery Conference in Gdansk was Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. When asked at a press briefing about the atmosphere at the meeting, referring to the diplomatic tension between Ukrainian president and Polish president, the mayor emphasized that it was friendly.
We have to see in the future and to try to find synergy to be together successful. It's main point in this conference. Not looking to the past time, we have to build present time and build the future together.
Klitschko emphasized that Ukraine should follow Poland's example when it comes to the country's development.
Always, if I came to Poland, I'm jealous. First time I visited Ukraine, it was Soviet time in 1988. I remember how poor Poland was. Poland was one big bazaar, and I come in every year to Poland. I see the changes, what Poland did, and right now the Poland is one successful country in Europe, and tremendous changes in infrastructure. Life quality of citizens is a great example. It means that we have to do it exactly the same way what Poland did.
Although summer has just begun, journalists asked Klitschko how Kiev would cope when the next winter arrives.
Вже зараз реалізуємо систему щодо надання теплопостачання всього місту. Тобто частина робіт була зроблена в попередні роки. Це вкрай складне завдання, враховуючи те, що місто Київ будувалося десятками років після Другої світової війни. Десятки інститутів працювали, а на сьогоднішній день у нас 3 виклики. Фінансовий ресурс, людський ресурс і час.
The mayor of Kiev added that a stable Ukraine can ensure stability for the entire region.
A new Europol report has delved into EU's most threatening criminal networks. A staggering 731 of them have been identified as operating within the EU, with over 400,000 members from 118 nationalities. Their main business areas are drug trafficking, followed by fraud and online fraud. The EU's law enforcement agency highlights the rise of cybercrime in particular.
Thank you for the question. All crime is nurtured online, is accelerated by AI and technology.
Criminal networks also exploit weaknesses in financial systems and global trade.
They have a very strong financial backup. They use sophisticated countermeasures. They use high levels of corruption. They are globally international connected, cells across the EU and beyond, so an international enterprise.
Europol stresses that targeting individuals is not enough. As long as the business model survives, others will step in and replace them. Hence, the EU agency recommends to strengthen cross-border law enforcement, invest more in disrupting criminal digital infrastructure, and to follow the money to recover criminal assets.
The European Union's border agency Frontex launched a new command unit in Lisbon on Wednesday. Contingent 5 will be a regional command and will operate in the Iberian Peninsula, covering the Portuguese and Spanish borders. Frontex is expected to deploy more than 300 agents to reinforce security on the Portuguese mainland and in the autonomous region of the Azores on the Spanish mainland and in the Canary Islands, as well as at key entry points into Europe in the Western Mediterranean. Regarding the challenges posed by the new European control system, the director of Frontex assured that airport border control should not pose an increased concern in the near future.
All member states are right now challenged at the borders, not only because of the numbers, but also because of the introduction of new systems, but we will manage it, and Portugal will also manage it for sure. Frontex will do its utmost. We are here to support. I think we're already helping a lot. It will take time for sure, but I'm fully confident that Portugal will deliver with Frontex and later on perhaps even without Frontex, but for now we are willing and able to help, and we are helping.
Portugal already has a reinforcement of 25 Frontex agents, but that number may increase to 60 agents at airports.
Hoje as fronteiras europeias são sobretudo as fronteiras externas. Portugal e Espanha têm grande responsabilidade por força da pressão do Sul e da América Latina e por isso estamos a fazer o trabalho de reforço. É uma medida prestigiante para a Península Ibérica e para Portugal. Temos aqui uma unidade, temos mais gente e por isso este é o compromisso muito firme de Portugal, do Governo, relativamente à segurança do nosso território, do território europeu.
Among Spain's greatest concerns at the moment is combating illegal immigration, as the country is on the front lines of some of Europe's busiest migration routes.
Por eso, luchar contra la migración irregular, trabajando con Frontex, nos ha conllevado, manteniendo esa política, a que haya decrecido la migración irregular un 70% en Canarias y en lo que es el continente, la parte de la península, un 30%.
The launch came as the EU adopts a tougher stance on irregular migration, with new rules across the bloc taking effect in June, aimed at stricter border controls and faster deportations. Currently, there are 3,800 officers deployed across Europe. Frontex's permanent staff is expected to reach 10,000 officers by 2027.
The death toll in Venezuela's twin quakes on Wednesday night has risen to 589, according to the country's health minister, who added that more than 4,300 others have also been injured. Search and rescue efforts are continuing in the worst affected regions, including La Guaira, just north of the capital Caracas. A 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes struck in quick succession, just minutes apart, according to the US Geological Survey, marking the country's worst natural disaster in over a century. Thousands are still reported missing, and officials warn the death toll may continue to rise in the coming days. The government, headed by acting President Delcy Rodriguez, has issued evacuation notices to thousands of residences in affected regions, which span all the way to Brazil's Amazon. Rodriguez says her cabinet is mobilizing all available resources to help those most vulnerable and pleaded for more assistance from the country's private sector as well as neighboring nations. Mexico, Chile, Ecuador and El Salvador were among the countries that have dispatched aid and sent rescue teams to assist in such efforts. The United States, which seized then-President Nicolás Maduro in a stunning military operation earlier this year, has waived some of its sanctions on the country until the 23rd of October to allow transactions related to earthquake relief.
Qatar's World Cup campaign is over after a 3-1 defeat to Bosnia and Herzegovina on the final day of the group stage. The result left Qatar bottom of Group B with 1 point from 3 matches and ended any hope of reaching the knockout rounds.
Unfortunately, this is the football. It's a game at the end. I think the coach had some mistakes, but let's look at it at optimistic way. It's an historic thing that we are in World Cup.
First of all, I want to say hard luck for Qatar national team, but we will support forever because I think Qatar deserves more than this. And inshallah, next World Cup, we will be better. Inshallah.